Grand Rising, everybody. Welcome to Breakfast with the Thomases. I am one of your
I
hosts.
can't hear you through stereo.
I know. All right. You have to mute, Mr. Thomas. Stereo. One mic rule on all devices. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Grand Rising. How we doing, everybody? Let's get it moving. All right. Today is our wonderful, wonderful Pay It Forward Friday with Breakfast with the Thomases. We are here in the house to do what we got to do and teach you how to make it the most of your weekend, especially what's happening in these markets. Because I want to play full out. If you're gonna play, we're gonna play because it's Friday. And y'all know how we get that little thank God it's Friday? Well, yes, thank God it's Friday. Let's make the most of it. Mr. Thomas, go ahead. Give him some love.
Grand Rising family, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to be here. It is an awesome, awesome Friday. There's so many things going on, and I gotta share this because I thought it was very funny this morning. We got up to a bunch of notifications. For those of you who have that slightly animalistic thing in you, today is the day of the Jaguar. So if you got the paws out and Friday night and then you let your Jaguar loose, go ahead and get that going. And for those who have those gentle childhood moments, and you remember back in the days where you used to see the little hot dog weenie truck run around, my baloney has a first name. It's OSCAR. It is day of the baloney, y'all. It's day with a baloney. So whatever you like, you like. It's all right. But it's just having it's Friday. We're gonna have a little bit of fun. We're gonna keep it in the mix, and we're gonna keep it going. And for those of you who are on Clapper, welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you in the space, brother BC. We see you there in our stereo land, and the body is just coming up. Is coming up, and for those of you who are on YouTube with us this morning, P2G Networks TV. It's a pleasure to have you, and we're gonna get started. We got a really great, great episode for you today, and a podcast. And I think you guys need to sit down and listen because what I heard and what I'm seeing is actually like a repeat. It's like rinse and repeat, and here we go again. And so you guys need to get ready, pay attention, get your ears on straight, and be willing to do something different than what you've ever done. All right. So I'm gonna go to the fade to the back, and I get the floor is for Miss Ruby right now. Ru, you have it all.
Range is happening right now. Markets are rising while currencies are failing. But depending on who you ask, there are different theories for what exactly is going on as well as what comes next. Some analysts call it the Great Melt-Up, a debt-fueled rally driven by government spending, speculation, and FOMO, resulting in rapid inflation, a government-manufactured crisis to revalue the debt, and ultimately a silent default through currency debasement. Others, such as Austrian economists, call it a crack-up boom, the final stage of money printing when people rush out of cash and into anything else before the currency collapses. Two different names, two different perspectives. But what if they're both happening? The Great Melt Crack-Up Boom, a government-engineered melt-up colliding with panic from those who are waking up to what's really going on. Right now, everything looks like a win on the surface. Keywords, on the surface. I see your comments, but Taylor, the stock market, it keeps going up, and you're right. This year, the Dow has hit fresh record highs. But not only that, home prices continue to stay up. Yeah, maybe they've cooled a little bit from their peak. But for many, it is still completely unaffordable to even think about buying a home, with many Americans actually now putting off marriage, having kids, even adopting a dog because of the affordability crisis within housing. Bad news for them, great news for homeowners. But not only that, cryptocurrencies also continue to go up. Bitcoin, and with many others chasing a new digital play. On paper, it looks like a boom. But if we dig just a little bit deeper, we start to see a very different story. Government deficits are skyrocketing. The Fed and the Treasury are doing whatever they can behind the scenes to backstop debt auctions. And demand for U.S. debt, the cornerstone of dollar dominance, is drying up in front of our very eyes. But at the same time, gold and silver are breaking out of record all-time highs. It is showing us what no one else will say, that the dollar is failing. Both the great melt-up and a crack-up boom start with the same foundation: a government addicted to money printing and too much debt. Each crisis since 2008 has relied on more stimulus, more printing, creating a situation where government overspending is no longer a reaction, but standard policy. Today, the U.S. government has two options: balance the budget or keep spending. But you and I both know that balancing the budget is not only highly unlikely, it's politically impossible. To cut spending on programs that would certainly throw the U.S. into a deep recession. It could be deflationary, causing massive unemployment, a reduction in tax revenue, and ultimately more spending to help support the citizens, leading us in a round trip to nowhere. But the alternative to keep spending is even more dangerous, because the more you spend, the weaker the dollar becomes. But it is at this intersection, at this point of a monetary system trying to keep itself alive, that the great melt-up really comes into focus. It's when inflation gets so bad that the government's back is against the wall and they make the intentional decision to hyperinflate away the debt. A silent default through devaluation. See, with the great melt-up, nothing is by mistake or accident. It's all intentional, as seen through endless wars, never-ending deficits. And it's at this point when the government will manufacture a crisis, be it social, geopolitical, financial, whatever it might be, but a crisis that maybe none of us see coming, that's so bad that it allows them to slash rates to zero and print with infinity. And when they do this, the value of the existing debt is reduced to next to nothing, while nominally it stays the same. But the ones who pay the price for this are you and I, the everyday American citizens, who have the value of their dollar reduced basically to nothing. But during this transition, that is when the crack-up boom takes over. When citizens realize that their dollars will buy less tomorrow than they did today, that's when you see spending take off, rushing out of cash and into anything else to protect their purchasing power. It's not because people want to spend, it's because they feel like they don't have a choice. But during this period, it will feel like growth, like prosperity, because the velocity of currency that is exchanging hands is happening so fast. But all it is an illusion. It's an illusion built on a foundation of a failing currency. But this is where gold really shines, because gold isn't just another asset that's reacting to what's going on. Gold exposes what is happening. When trust in fiat breaks down, when trust in central banks breaks, it is gold. Gold, physical gold, is the mirror to the system that they don't want you to see. Why do you think that central banks are buying as much record gold as they can get their hands on, the most in modern history? Why are BRICS nations banding together and using gold as the settlement asset, not fiat currency? And why are more and more mainstream investors starting to wake up and realize this isn't just a hedge against inflation? This is actually going to be positioned at the center of the new monetary system, a monetary system where fiat will not be at the center the way it is today. I am talking about a system that has not existed in the way it's about to during any of our lifetimes. Yes, gold has always played a role, of course, going back thousands of years, but that they have tried to hide its position. They have tried to act like it's not true money, that the paper promises that we are paid in, that is true money, when the reality is the illusion is breaking. They cannot keep the lie going for much longer. And now, as that is being exposed, more and more people are realizing that it's gold that cannot be inflated or printed away, that it is gold that is going to protect your wealth from what is coming next during this reset. So what is happening right now? Well, I'm going to tell you my thoughts of what's going on, but I want to hear from you. What is your theory about what is going on right now? Is it both at once, the great melt up and a crack up boom? Is it one or the other, or is it something completely different than what I'm talking about? I believe that right now we have a government that is intent on inflating away our debt. They want low rates. They want to refinance that debt as cheaply as possible. And they're not scared of a little inflation because, again, it means that our debt, the value of our debt actually goes down. That is something we need at a time when buyers for our debt are disappearing. At the same time, we have widespread masses, I believe for the first time in a long time, starting to wake up and panic and realize, okay, I have been sold a lie. The dollars that I'm being paid and the dollars that I'm storing my wealth in, my savings, my retirement, they are always going to be worth less tomorrow than they are today, and it's time to make some decisions. The more they print, the more people panic. The more people panic, the more they print. In both scenarios, what we eventually will see is hyperinflation. Right now, of course, we have inflation. We've had inflation for a long time, but it's not even close to as bad as I believe that it's going to get. What history shows us is coming next, which is inflation leading to rapid inflation, to hyperinflation, where again, the value of your dollars are going to be worth significantly less. Those who have the foresight to protect themselves with physical gold and silver are going to come out the other side, not only protected, but in a position of opportunity. But there will be many who lose everything throughout this. The illusion is just starting to break. But to be honest, we still have a ways to go, which is why I think gold's price rise is only just getting started. And unfortunately, people who are holding dollars have a lot more to lose. I'll put it simply. In all resets, at the end of the crack up boom, at the end of the great melt up, at whatever you want to call it, what is happening right now is a currency reset. Right? The value of the currency is being reset minute by minute, second by second. And in every single reset throughout history, the majority of people lose. Not because they weren't hard workers, not because they weren't good savers, but because they were not positioned properly, because they took the government's word at face value, because they put their faith and trust in a currency, in a paper promise that had no intrinsic, real, or tangible value. And because of that, they were left with nothing. But you see what is happening right now. You see what is coming next, which puts you in a unique position to be able to protect yourself now before it's too late. If you don't already have physical gold and silver, or you do, but you want a second opinion to make sure that you're positioned for what's coming next, call us at the number below or click the link in the description to set up a time that works best for you to talk to one of our expert analysts. They have years of experience in helping people just like you answer questions. Everything we do here is trying to help educate everyone, as well as make sure that you take action so that you are protected against what is coming next. It all depends on your goals, your concerns, your situation. It is different for everyone, which is why I say if you have any questions or you're even considering protecting yourself with physical gold and silver because you see what's coming next, call us at the number below or scan the QR code, whatever is easiest for you. And in the meantime, I so appreciate you being here. I'm Taylor Kenny with ITM Trading, your trusted source for all things gold, silver, and lifelong wealth protection. Until next time.
So now all of that has been said. What's going on? How we doing? How's it going? Let's get back in this stream. Let's see where we at. Okay, now talk to me. What does this mean for everybody? Those at home who are at home, Mr. Thomas, you want to share? Because this was your video, so I'm gonna let you share on it.
Well, one of the things, let me open that up. One of the things that really rang volumes to me when I looked at this video was the fact that back in 208, they did this same play went across the board. AIG was having issues with insurance, paying people in the insurance. Housing market, the housing market was at a major collapse prior to the meltdown, and people were saying house prices are at the best rate it's ever been. This is the time to get your house. If you're an owner, you're in a perfect position to stay in play and be ahead of the game. And all of a sudden, the bottom fell out, and they were telling everybody, they're like, no one had any more money. The banks were foreclosing on people's properties, and there was like FOMO was real. The FOMO was real. And thank you so much, dear. The FOMO was real. One of the other things that you got to look at is that people were buying everything and anything. People were buying. They were doing
Okay, I'm gonna try to let him get himself together. Mr. Thomas, your networking is out. Please work on that. Come on back in the room. But in the meantime, we're gonna have a little discussion about history. All right, go ahead and mute out, please. All right, so I get where he was going with all of that. Mr. Thomas, you got to mute. You got to mute and fix your networking. Thank you. All right, so let's get back on track. For those who are here, I want you all to realize the conversations that we're having are not about what's to come. These are about current events, what people who know better are doing. People, I don't care what world you live in, where you have the black versus the white and all of this and the who, this, that, and the other. If you ain't covering your tail while everybody else is covering their tail because they're getting information, access, and taking action in the world we live in, not the one that you think it should be, then it's going to be, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about embracing what is with new info. We're not here talking about how things used to be. Mr. Thomas will give you your history on it, but baby, that's just history repeating itself. My question was, did you know the last time we had a financial decline wasn't even the shift that is taking place now? Those were setups for what is currently taking place because the pressure is on. I don't think that y'all realize when we speak about this, that the pressure's on now. This is when, this is the time when all that stuff that we were just talking about could happen. All of those one day it could be is now happening. You're in the shift process right through. All right, Mr. Thomas. All right, Mr. Thomas. Thank you. So guys, thank you for being patient with us because he got cut off, and I know why he got cut off. This show is more spiritual than it has ever been, and this ain't church. We're talking about striving and thriving and survival of the average person. There should be tens of thousands of people on Breakfast with the Thomases, right? Because millions upon billions of people are going to be poorly affected due to lack of information, which y'all get in the morning every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. These people don't even there's not even a beginning conversation about this. I visited a good friend of ours, and the wonderful thing is she's 83 years old. 83. I'm sorry, she's 89. My bad. Wrong senior. Because I met a couple of seniors yesterday. But visited an 89-year-old on her 89th birthday. Do you know what she said to me before she left? before I left. She says, Ruby, I need training. I need to learn the technology. She's 89 yesterday. And she says, Ruby, I need to learn how to buy stuff on my phone. Because she already got it on the computer, but she has, I'm sorry, switch it up. She needs to learn how to do it on her phone because she's good with it on, on her computer because she's good with it on her phone. So now she wants to learn how to use it on the biggest screen. Seniors are beginning to understand the world has changed. This is a woman that is literally just got back. She's only 3 months home because she got hurt on her trip. She went to India to serve with doctors at 87 to 88. And every year she gets on a plane and goes out there and serves. I met volunteers yesterday who came to celebrate her birthday and celebrate her because she's been spending her life giving, doing nothing but giving. Well taken care of. This is a woman who branded I Love Harlem officially and owns the trademark. But see, that's the thing. How much stuff have y'all done with your lives? What are you doing at age 50, 40, 20, such and such? This is a woman who figured out as she's getting older how the money system works and what politicians are and are not. So she gets the work done anyway. My question is who are you waiting for to get the work done of your life? And when I say the work, first thing you got to do is shore up home. We always want to try to do good. But she can't go and spend months at these places if she didn't take care of her business. My mama used to say that all the time. First, you got to take care of your business. We out here minding everybody else's business. You want to talk about somebody. You want to hear about what happened to Puffy. What the hell's happening in your household? That man's a multimillionaire. He's still making money. You know what the sad part is? During that whole damn trial, I kept hearing nothing but his songs on the radio. My question is, who's playing your song and how you getting residuals for something you did? That is what we teach people to do with their money because you ain't got no time no more. That is what we're teaching you to do with your time, to start focusing on building up and structuring your household through your finances. And you know what happens when you get control of your finances? Time seems to be in abundance. Now you ain't late no more. Now, all of a sudden, you could do things you didn't think you could. And yes, we are still in the middle of the shift. You know what the opportunity is? You better use it while you can. You know how many of, look, I got friends out here in this crypto game and all of that. But you know what the problem is? We have a mental problem, a mentality mindset issue. We get stuck on following things to the end, to where we think this is the only way to do it. This is where the world going to go. That's why you'll never, those people who get stuck on one way to do something are going to be stuck when the world, whenever all the millionaires and billionaires and all the new millionaires are created. And that's what's happening. You're seeing new millionaires. And I don't mean people through money. I'm talking about generational wealth where their finances are coming in residually and passively. They figured out that if I stay in one thing right now, everything will fall apart. We teach you to diversify and change your mindset to see how diversification works with small amounts. You know what the only problem is? Y'all wasting time. That's the biggest part of all of this. Time. When they say you can't get it back, they really mean it. It's the most expensive thing going on in your life. Time. And y'all mostly use it in a way that depletes you. Anybody recently went out to eat, ordered some Uber Eats? How many of y'all ordered gold, silver, or crypto, or just some Bitcoin for the hell of it? We've been telling y'all, $5 worth of Bitcoin. It's on Cash App. $5, $5. I didn't get any calls or texts to say, hey, Miss Ruby, how do I do that? This thing ain't working. Y'all worried about having to pay somebody? You're going to pay for it with your whole life. The education you do not pay for today, you will pay for the rest of your life. It'll be years of the lesson because the opportunity won't be there. That is what the wealthy figured out about crypto. They figured out it's not such a scam. It's a great way to protect my finances and move it quickly. Because before, oh, no banks can tell me when I can move $1 billion. What? Yeah, that. Because if they can move $1 billion in a matter of seconds, oh, even better, Bitcoin take what, 5 minutes? It takes 5 minutes for my Bitcoin to get over. So what? Try to move 10,000 out your bank. It'll take you 3 days. You can, of your money, try to move over $10,000, $999.99. That's all you get. When it hit 10,000, you got to make a form. But that's your money. I want you to imagine that the banks are suffering right now, and you got $100,000 sitting in the damn bank. How you getting it out? According to the bank rules, this how you got. These are our rules. Oh no, that's my money. No, it's not. It hasn't been your money since you signed it over and it went inside. Most of y'all get direct deposit. If the banks closed down and your check just rolled into that bank account on a Friday, it's Friday. Most people getting paid today, right? Yep. Pay it forward, baby. Where's all your money or your value? Sitting in an entity that doesn't even have the requirement to put you first. Oh, and y'all, I love those. Well, I got FDIC. Well, let's see. FDIC, if and when, and I say if and when it kicks in for you, because people go, oh, it's up to $250,000. What is it, $150,000 or $250,000? $250,000, and that's still questionable because FDIC just got the rules changed to where they are just good. They're now good for what was it? Full faith. They're not good for that amount anymore. They've changed the name. They're taking the balance off. But y'all don't know what that's about because you're still sticking your money in a bank only. No one has private entities anymore. Anybody got a trust to protect your funds? If you die, can your family get to your money quickly? Do you know what a trust is? No. That's why we have these discussions on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Because people, family, my community, neighbors, there's something missing in our education. There's something missing in our financial literacy. We got to agree and we got to get on it. We can't just sit here going, I ain't listening to her. It's okay. You ain't got to listen to me. Take the words that I say and go Google them. Go to your chat GPT and type it in. Mr. Thomas, you want to say something? I see you coming in here. Let me get you in here. Go ahead, baby.
Now, one of the things that we really got to be mindful of, and I am so 100% with the idea of, it's not even the fact of go do your research, but a lot of people, when you tell them go do the research, they have no idea what that means. So let me put it in layman's terms so it makes sense to all you guys. We have the biggest dictionary going on, and y'all just use it to play games. Get on Google. First thing you want to do is look up what financial literacy is. Figure out what financial literacy is and what does that mean to you. And how have you been living your life according to financial literacy? All right. Secondly, find out what the difference is between financial literacy and digital financial literacy. That's the next question. Because everything is moving to the digital landscape, whether you realize it or not. Because, you know, we laugh about it, but we walk around with these phones and we tap everywhere. That's digital. That's digital financial. Then there is the whole economics behind it all. And that's when you want to go get your chat GPT on. Get your AI in place. Those of you who got chat GPT, those of you who got Gemini, those of you who got Copilot, whatever you like, go look those words up. Find out what they mean. And then go back. And when you do that, then go look at what FDIC truly means and what it covers. Because the misnomer that you have that your money is protected now is an oxymoron. It is an oxymoron because you're not protected because you are not the entity. You are the member. And the member is designed to cover the entity. And you can look that up. It has changed. You can look up UCC. You can look up FDIC. You can look up the Federal Trade Commission, and they have it on their website because it's required. They have to put it in public knowledge for you to see. They don't have to tell you it's there, but they have to let you know that, yes, it's available for you to go look and do the research. So now you have just got the keys to going to do research. Now the question is, if it's so unimportant that your money is so unimportant that you won't go look, or is it that it's so unimportant that you can trust the corporation that has been running the country, saying they're taking care of you and making sure you see these upswings in the market that are manufactured, not actually happening, because there's no way to manufacture this. Let me rephrase that. You can manufacture anything you want to happen on a chart that you are the controller of. Because if you look at the chart that we showed them earlier today on ITM Trading, the NASDAQ and the stock market are rising. Prices are going up. Crypto prices are going up. But the usage of the US dollar is going down, plummeting. We have no buyers for our debt. The reason we were the central currency is because we had buyers, because we knew our assets were liquid. The U.S. was a liquid asset that they could use and move fluidly. That has since left the building. And I'm not saying this to scare anybody. I'm really not. I'm saying this that there's a conversation that you need to have with yourself and your family about what's the next move. And education to the next wealth shift is required. And P2G is helping to provide the conversation and the actions to take. We're taking you step by step through the process so you can understand how to do it, so that you come out on the other side ahead, no matter where you are. Gold and silver are access points, they're tools. The dollar is a tool to get you to the assets that you need to move into the next financial, I forget the word right now, the next financial transition that you need to be in. Cryptocurrency is a tool that goes from the dollar to a pathway to get you to your next set of assets. It's a small asset to get to a larger asset. And then we talk about trust, and Rudy mentioned trust briefly, and I'm not going to go into trust right now. But what you need to understand is having a trust is the security blanket you need, but you need to know how to use it properly. You need to know how to use it properly, and we talk about that on our Sunday night. So just come in, ask a question, reach out. We're here to answer questions. We walk you through the process because we are a hands-on company that actually believes that the community should have the same access that the 2% or the 1% are actually keeping away from you. And I'm done.
No, he not, y'all. No, he not. He not done. But he will be soon, because we do have to. We have some responsibilities at 9:00. But I want to make sure that in this time that we have together, that we actually take the time to really get some work done. What do you want to know about? And this is your opportunity, because this is a conversation. I know everybody coming in, oh, this is the Breakfast with Thomas show. No, it's not. This is a conversation. This is what's missing in our households. What was missing when we were kids. So come to the table, ask questions. I'm looking on Clapper right now, and I'm also checking. I'm checking everywhere. I'm with all the folks that are coming on. I want to say thank you to Escribami. We have our sister Shelby in the house, Shelby Nicole, Dreamy. Hey, baby girl. Menacence, Brother Black Casper, the warrior. I have some folks out here. I don't get to see your names. Y'all go ahead and put your names in so I can give you a shout out this morning. If you are on Facebook, if you are on YouTube, if you are on Clapper, or even on stereo, you should be in the conversation asking questions or giving information, because this is the place where the community meets. That's what P2G is about. Breakfast with the Thomases is the table that you get invited to come into the door, to be able to have the conversations that you may not be able to have with people in your community. If you stay stuck with the folks that have the limited information, how are you going to grow out that box? You need to be around folks that can uplift you, take you to the next level, mindset, grow together. Because guys, it ain't working the way we're doing it now. Well, I can't say we, because Mr. Thomas and I and the people in our community are constantly uplifting each other to the next level. We're constantly bringing each other into new information that we're able to take and put into action. We're also dealing with the human parts of what's going on. Please excuse me. We're here not to have these little fly-by-night conversations. I used to call them, my husband will tell you, I used to call them the barbershop conversations. Now, if you go into a barbershop, and I love it, I learned this through watching shows like The Barbershop, like Barbershop. And also sometimes just, chilling close by, checking in, listening to Mans when I go check on the Mr. Man when he gets here or did. Now, go in there, and these brothers are really for serious. They for sure having conversations. They're talking about basketball, women, and they're not disrespectful, which is what I do appreciate. But they're talking about politics, life, money. There's always that dude that has that new information about what's going on financially. And there's only a few that might listen. What I love is I have a brother, look, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, the conversation in the barbershop is changing. And you need to be there. Don't just let it be in a barbershop. The barbershop is now talking about gold, silver, crypto, and land ownership. We're bringing that conversation to senior centers, schools, parent associations, associations for community associations. We're bringing that conversation to medical facilities for employees. We need the unions to be having this meeting, this type of conversation, because it's one thing to put your trust for your life in the hands of another. It's another thing to be able to know that they know what they're doing, because you know what they're doing. See, the only thing I give people to do for me is stuff that I clearly is added on. They're helping me do it. They're helping me take it to the next level. They're not doing stuff I don't know the outcomes for myself, because it's mine. It's me. You are always the master and commander of your life. And you should always be when it comes to information about you and yours. It doesn't matter if you need help and support. You should be able to know how to monitor your help and support. That's like having an accountant and you can't count. You got a multi-million-dollar business and a lifestyle that's really worth only pennies because you can't count and they can't. I love the book Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he talks about his rich dad and who he was. See, I don't think we realized Rich Dad's dad died when he was 13 and left him an empire, left him a business. And at 13, I believe it was the island of Hawaii, he had to run his father's business. And he had to leave school to go learn to run a business. And who his teachers became, and this is Robert Kiyosaki's words, not mine, were his accountant, his lawyer, his marketer. All the people who ran his business were training him. He had to know exactly what they did and how to put them in place. And that is why Rich Dad was teaching Robert Kiyosaki the same thing. We want to run to school and talk about all the PhDs and the letter identifications. You know what the problem with that is? You never gained any of how to really succeed in life, with this life, in this society, in this financial system. You stayed in school for 16, 20 years. Think about it. 12 in one, then you went and got another 4, then you went and got another 4, and to get that master's, you got another 4. These things add up. That's time you can't get back. All not learning how your own financial society community works. Now, while I'm not in any way knocking education, do that on your own damn time. You know what I'm saying? Do that on your own time. Because your own time comes when you secure the bag. Too many of y'all have pushed your whole life into debt over information that can't dig you out of debt. But you got years of debt and indebtedness to the government. I don't get that. When I go back to school, it's going to be on a dime that's prepaid by me. Why? Because I secured the bag that takes care of that. I got the right knowledge first. And that's what Rich Dad was talking about. We walk around here like, everybody's got something proud to be proud of themselves. My question is while you're building someone else's organization and corporation, what's happening to your life, my loves? What's really, really going on? And I have to say that, what's real? I want you all to ask any questions that you have about crypto, gold, the economy, whatever. This is the time to put it up. We've got a few more minutes, about 20 more minutes in this space. Mr. Thomas and I have a very rigorous day because we really are setting up for class. Take a look. We got next session comes up on November 6th. Y'all go ahead and click the link, go to the site, and sign up for your class because we ain't out here playing games. We really out here. I've been doing this for what, 5 years now? We in session 9 of 8 weeks. We taking whole hands through 8 weeks of how to get it down, how to fill your wallet, how to move it, how to make it move while you sleep. Passive income, residual income. Because if your money not outpacing your hours in the day, then you are working till you die. And y'all can't tell me that, oh, Ms. Ruby, you so. Don't say that. I didn't say it. Warren Buffett did. One of the biggest billionaires in the world, the longest time billionaires in the world, is telling you the truth. Too bad the truth freaking hurts. Now get over it and grow up. Grow up your education. Grow up your time. Get your time back. Mr. Thomas, go ahead. I see it, baby. Let me get it in here. Grand Rising and everybody. Look, we got some. Okay, I got the chat going. I'm about to pop some bubbles. Menacence. Mr. Thomas, you're going to have to do this one for me. Go ahead. I'm going to mute. Al, you have to run that because mine cannot play it. So you have to run it. Can you hear me? Al, can you hear me? Okay, we're going to try that again. All right. We're going to eventually get the sound together, but we have some folks that are asking questions. How you doing? Hey, honeys. We got some folks in the house. Some love in the house. I appreciate it. Mr. Thomas, can you hear me? You have to unmute. I cannot run the stereo messages. You have to run them.
So, what do you think about if it's a game and we understand that it's a game? What do you think about playing the game? But play the game to win. Work as hard as you can, pay off all of your debt, your mortgage, your cars, pay all of it off, and just get out of the game. Learn how to live off the land, invest in seeds so you can grow your own food. In case they do turn the lights off, in case they do inflate the cost of gold, or if the dollar goes away, and just get out altogether. Don't worry about Social Security, and they can take that too. Well, what's your thoughts on that?
I'll answer that first. First of all, Grand Rising to you, Brother Millicent. First of all, I like the way you think. Get out the game. You're right. You said play the game to get out the game. But the first thing you got to realize, what is the game? What most people don't realize, the game is debt. The game is officially debt. And there's two terms of debt. There's good debt and there's bad debt. And what you must realize, debt is not an intrinsically bad thing if you use it for what it's designed for. Because if you think about it, if you go back as far as 1933, I'm gonna go all the way back for you guys. The U.S. made a promise. They said that they shall take care of all debts of all American citizens. Okay? So we shouldn't be paying for nada. Because that's not the word I want to use, but we're on public channel, so I'm not going to use the word I want to use. We shouldn't be paying for nothing. Now, for you to figure that out, you need to do some research. But we shouldn't be paying for anything. Secondly, debt is your friend. Debt is your friend. If you use it the way it's designed to be used, because the wealthy people have been using debt for years. Case in point, Elon Musk. He got debt in buying a coin called Doge. We all got that coin. Oh Lord, Elon Musk is getting Doge. That must be the thing to get. That was debt. He got some debt. He put it out there. He marketed it for you guys to see it. And y'all guys all follow suit. And what did he do? He sold his debt and got something else he needed that he really wanted, which was Bitcoin. Understand me. Good debt, bad debt. And I understand where you're going, but hear me out. I know, Ruth, hold on. There's a following for this. There's a point to this. Now, debt is a process of using. Debt is an asset tool. Debt is an asset tool. Now, if you buy a house and you live in it, not good debt. You buy a house and rent the rooms in it to other people, good debt, because now the people who live in the house are now paying for the mortgage, and you can be getting a profit to recycle into the house and maintain the house's maintenance, and it doesn't come from you. And if you guys have read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you know he has the rule. Four houses, one hotel, same theory. Or the 3 houses, one hotel. I can't remember which. But understand me, you're going from the small assets, moving into a big asset and having the large asset cover everything along the way. And it's a process, and you have to learn to think about it. Paying off all your debts, credit cards, lightning, all that, that's all good and fine and all. But when you say you want to pay off all your debts and get off the grid, you might want to slow that roll just a little bit. And I know I'm about to go down a rabbit hole. I'm going to stop myself. You might want to slow that roll, because to be out of the game and in the game, if you want to play the game and play it full out, going off the grid, hiding is not the way to do it. Not opposed to it, but homesteading is not a bad thing. But I'm not opposed, but I'm gonna let that drop. And I know Miss Ruby's like, now let me in here. I got something. I got you, but I'm saying, Millicent, play your cards out, lay it out on paper, and then come have a conversation with it, because there's some stuff you got to get. I think we can help. We can talk about it. And I'm gonna go back here. Let me do that.
All right. And thank you, baby. I'm glad that went a lot different than I expected it to. That whole Elon Musk thing. Yeah. While Elon Musk, just so that you guys realize, Mr. Thomas kind of went around to get across, and he does that often. But I hope you get it. The Elon Musk reference I was going to make is simply that Elon Musk does not get, he doesn't get paid from Tesla in money. Elon Musk gets paid in stock options. And in that process, he lives his life tax-free on leveraging. Thank you. He lives his life. What are you talking about? Use the chat. What's going on? He lives his life on debt. That's the benefit of debt. It is a system. What's missing? So, Medicines, let me speak to you. Let me speak to your question. Even if you came off the grid, you still have to own the land that you live under. You have to secure the bag. That's what we've been telling y'all. You have to secure the land. So you can never leave the game. because that means that anyone still playing the game can uproot you. You have to learn how to secure even where you're at. And there are rules to that, because you don't get to leave the country and not be somewhere on something belonging to somebody with a system that's still rolling by while you living out in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, take it from all of our indigenous brothers and sisters who had their land taken up and are given a piece of paper because they didn't secure the land. They didn't secure the bag. Now they're securing the bag. It's in paper. They're recalling treaties. You got to learn the whole game. This is why we're even doing this, y'all. There is not just one part of the game. We've only been given so much visual to the financial system in this country, enough to keep you a consumer. And now you're so scared, you want to stop being a consumer, be a creator without owning anything. That becomes a problem into itself. Because at any time, an entity can uproot you because you didn't secure the bag. You don't hold anything. This game has levels. And if you want to play it, you've got to go, you got to be where those levels, that information and the conversation about those levels are. We do that every Sunday. Invite y'all for free, but let's see who shows up. I know who shows up. Some of them are on these streams and some of them are not. Some of them are listen, get the invitation, never go to the website and secure your seat. Because when I'm talking about allodial titles and putting it down and how to get connected to my brother Truth, who got the platform, you either do it yourself, be in class and learn, or they got the do it for you platform. For myself, we got a DYI. We do it together as a community. We got community building for P2G. That's Sundays, baby. Saturday in our private groups. Let me explain something to y'all. The reason you want to run away is because you haven't taken the time to master the game. It's okay though, because we've been there. I'm with you. But I learned how to do it in a way that no one can ever uproot me. I learned in a way to lock it in. Because I'll be damned if we ever see another Black Wall Street happen again. Not today. It ain't happening today because we know the rules. We know their rules, the rules that are on the books. We have folks as a community, everybody. I love it. People are like, that's a lot of reading. Not if 50 of us are reading. If all of us take a part of the reading and the learning and we start sharing it with each other, what can't we make happen? Now, if y'all interested in that, make it to one of my Sundays because that's where we build it. Make it to p2gnetworks.com and go sign up for Sundays. It's free at 7 p.m. It's only been happening for the last 2 years. Every Sunday, ain't changed day to time. I don't play that. Because, baby, let me tell you something. You want to get free, you want to learn the debt game on the real, you ready to, you don't go and spend 30 years of your life, which takes up the youth you have, your energy, especially in a time right now where healthcare, funding for your healthcare, the food quality is terrible. See, that's the thing. We want to go pay everything off. Problem is you're not playing the game. Once you paid everything off, you go back to zero credit and then you go on to the land. How do you do business? You can build on seeds. You still need livestock, wood, all of that. So if we want to build, I'm with you. We already in those conversations. We already on the what do we do next? We also on the how do we keep it? See, what happens is when people get too big and they start getting a lot of stuff, if you're not a forward thinker, I think like the Japanese, I'm 10 steps to 100 years ahead. I'm already talking. We in the conversation about generations. What's going to happen 10, 20 years from now? That's why we in the crypto. Crypto is another 100 years. I'm sorry. Bitcoin alone is another 100 years till it gets to its last coin. About 120 right now. But see, you got to know what you're doing. You got to know how stuff works. And that's what we do by educating people on the platform. We make sure we share the knowledge and put in action steps that you can take now with whatever you got. Because your goal is not to get more money. It's about to get more assets. Get more assets so you whatever you have has value no matter what the economy. Y'all get that yet? Because when dollars ain't it, what do you have that you can trade? And people go, well, I got some seeds. That's great. You're going to stay on the lower level trying to hide out still. Eventually, you're going to hide out and you're going to die off. That's what happens with those people. They die off. And we can go underground, but I'm not talking about rebellion. I don't need to be a rebel. I can actually be one of the new billionaire millionaires, or should say one of the new elites in the computer, creating the future I want. And I don't have to fall in with anybody's situation. And I hope y'all get that. We don't have to fall in or roll over. We can actually create the rules, but you got to understand how to work the board. You got to understand cash, crypto, credit, hard assets, all of it. Yeah, I know my friends are like, oh, shoot, she said it. Cash, crypto, credit, hard assets. Hard, real ones. All of it. But you're not going to exist only in the digital world and think that that's going to be it. I try to look, I can only speak to people who are willing and open to hearing. I'm not out here. Like I said, this voice ain't for everybody. My words aren't for everybody. This don't fall on everybody's ears. And people go, stop tossing pearls among swine. Well, how the hell are the people who are supposed to get there, who are within in that space, going to get my pearls? So you're going to have to realize that everything we do has a purpose. Every move we make has a purpose. When you hear about, y'all ain't stopped hearing about us. I want you to think about it. I keep telling you, check the pulse on this organization right here. Go back in our history, see who we are, what have we been saying, if anything's changed. And see how I want you to just to think about how the world has actually developed since we started talking. Then go sign the hell up, because you ain't gonna find an anomaly. And get to class. Let's get to work. Because I'm letting folks know, only people who care about their future is going to move into the future. And you have to understand, foundation is your financials. You were not taught that at home because they didn't have it to teach you. You were taught to pay your bills like a good little person, be a good citizen, pay your taxes, make sure you don't get in trouble. Okay? You were basically taught fear and lack, which is why talking to y'all today is so hard, because we're talking about concepts you were actually educated away from. Wealth, stability, security, custody. Y'all don't even trust yourselves to own your own money. Y'all get that? Y'all get that, right? That's what's coming up. All of this fear. But what if it's okay. What if? Play the game out, see how it goes. If you don't like it, move. You ain't gonna die. Oh, got a comment. So Al, I'm gonna need you to play that, so I got it. So we're gonna play this comment coming up. Let's go. Go ahead, Mr. You gotta remember to open your mic.
Right on. And I dig that, make that money work for you. Residual income. You brought up property management and renting homes out to people. Section 8. Go even bigger, apartment building. Section 8 occupants. You're gonna get your guaranteed a percentage off the top. And you work, as far as getting the rest of it. So yeah, I can get with that.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Look, I'm gonna be really honest. This conversation I don't want nobody agreeing with me. And brother, thank you for the agreement. I appreciate that. Let me just explain something to y'all. We are not here to tell you how to think. We're here to invite some new information. And that brother just got some more info to go on. I just got some info to go on. You just said some stuff. I want to make sure you just put something in the conversation. Don't just secure your tail. Make sure you provide. You got to provide, guys. You got to provide a way for others to come through too. You know how many times we have folks that are gatekeeping this information, gatekeeping us moving forward, gatekeeping at all, just because they got in and now they're ready to shut the door. See, we've seen politicians do it. I ain't gonna name no names, but we know who they are. You know what the problem is? You keep equating them to a color, and then you call them your brother, and all skin folk ain't kin folk. We forget that. That's a reality, baby. We got to stop looking at people who look like us and start realizing that what we look like was the game. That's a part of the game. I just want to uplift my people. You don't even know who the hell you are. How you got people? Who is your people? Do you know your people? Because my people, I was always told, oh, we Cherokee, we this. Those are people who got actual connections to land, and you don't even know who that is. People go, I don't know what tribe from Africa I came from. Good luck with that. How you become, look, I'm letting y'all know right now, you're trying to go back to a country that you may have more than likely never actually was in. Through your skin and your blood, ain't never seen Africa. But you got actual ties to this place. You just, you're like, they was here before our people, right? What? Are you kidding me? I learned that in 6th grade in biology. They still talking about what the first corpse ever found looks like. She looks like me. So how do I be the mother of a planet and only got one location? Come on, somebody. Y'all got to know who you are. And that is what P2G has always stood for. When you begin to understand who you are, what you made up, you can figure out where you came from. And then you don't have to limit yourself. Because I got a little bit of everybody. I got English. Apparently I got Scottish. Yes, we Scots. That's what I'm talking about. And some Spanish. So got some Spain up in there. But guess what? That means my blood covers the planet. And so does yours. So let's get out of the crayon box and start realizing that there were treaties, paperwork, stuff that's done that's still in your name that you ain't claimed yet. But you're going to play this paper game trying to get out of your job. You want out of your job. That's such a small game. I think personally, y'all need to be thinking about corporate takeover. How about that? That's a bigger game to play. Let's do it. Corporate takeover. Big fish takes little fish. Only wait. The little fish ate the big fish. How about we play that game? How does that work? Because the big little fish got a bunch more little fish. Y'all got a lot more of y'all than them. What you doing with your time? What you doing with yourself, your actions? How many of you all are at your job building your empire in your education right outside? How many of y'all using your paycheck to get your billions and millions started? Not going and finding more ways to make more money, but literally finding ways to make money turn into assets that keep chasing themselves, and you no longer have to go to work after a certain amount of time. Systems, my love. That's all it is you are missing. You're missing information and systems. P2Gnetworks.com. If I don't see you there, good luck and God bless. You're welcome to come to our free offering here at any time. But the work takes place on Thursday, November 6th, and it goes for 8 weeks. Once you sign up, you are in. And what you do with the information and the instruction and the training that you get is upon you. You can go so many places. What we do here, we do not do alone. It is not just myself and Mr. Thomas. We have other partners. We have other teachers, trainers, people who are in a part of our program. Who we have to be bigger than ourselves. I couldn't handle all of you by myself. And guess what? I don't have to. Because the biggest and most important lesson I learned was community. Well, let's start with community and contracts. Those are the two things. Those are the most two important things. Community and contracts. So that way, emotions never have a chance to interrupt our work. Let's go. Time to get it popping. Mr. Thomas, go ahead and pop those. We got it. We're at our time because Mr. Thomas has to take a little run and I've got some meetings to do. And I love you all. I want you to listen to this message because we got some interactions. Here we go. Mr. T, go for it.
A lot of people, when it comes to finances, they get hung up on how much money can I make the quickest. Like, how much money can I make the quickest, and how much, like, how can I say this? Like, hold on, hold on.
Okay, I think she had a bit of. Hold on.
Like I was saying, sorry about that. A lot of people get hung up on how much money they can make fastest and quickest, and how much they can accumulate money fastest and quickest. But it's money is a long game, and it's about having little units of income that add up over time. So you can put all your money and all your thoughts and all your energy into one business, but it only cracks a certain amount of money. But if you have multiple small businesses that bring in a good amount of money over time, it's gonna bring in more money than that one business that you put all your money into. So I think people they get an idea and they go on with it, and instead of taking it step by step, they're breaking it down into small steps and working each section to make money for you over time.
I love that, Marlena. Really good, really good. It's not about that one hit wonder. It's literally about small pieces over and over, repeated multiple times, and you're right on track. So guys, girls, everyone here on the stereo and clapper, take the information you got. Come to class. We're here. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Clapper Stereo. We're on Facebook as well. And hit us up in the back chat. Let us know if you have any questions. We got a pay link. We're getting a pay link up today. If you guys want to take part of the class, be in the class. It's at the bottom. It's at P2G Networks. Oh, class schedules right there. It's right there. The pay link is up and ready to go. And that's it. That's it for us from the top. We're at the top of the hour. And y'all guys are perfectly positioned to get the work that you need to get done. We've given you the jewels. Go do your own research. And we'll see you back here on Monday. Peace and blessings. We're out of here.